You're watching Flip TV News. I am Opeyemi Olugbemi. Here are the headlines. Binance executive arraigned in court for money laundering. Okwoma, slain soldiers' body parts were removed, reveals CDS. Now the news in details. Binance's head of financial crime compliance, Segran Gambayan, on Thursday, April 4, arrived at the Federal High Court in Abuja for arraignment over allegations of money laundering. On February 28, Gambayan and Nadeem Anjawala, Binance's regional manager for Africa, were detained by Nigerian authorities. Although Anjawala escaped from the custody of the Office of the National Security Advisor, ONSA, both executives alongside Binance are expected to be charged in court by the federal government for tax evasion and money laundering on Thursday. Wearing a black t-shirt and green pants, Gambayan was brought into court at about 9:19 a.m. by officials of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
Okay.
In other news, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has made a U-turn and claimed that the killing of 17 military personnel in the Okwoma community in the Ughelli South local government area of Delta State was premeditated by cultists and militants. According to the CDS, the military officers were deliberately killed because the commanding officer of the 181 Amphibious Battalion and his team were ensuring that any acts of pipeline vandalism, crude oil theft, and setting up of illegal refineries were completely eradicated from the region. The CDS said that the commanding officer felt that the threat was not high, hence he went to the community unarmed, stressing that if he had gone armed, he would have erased everybody in the community. The resident had said that the slain military personnel arrived in 2 gunboats on March 14, purportedly for peace talks with the community chairman and leaders, and the community greeted them warmly and offered them kola nuts, resulting in a peaceful dialogue. The resident added that the tension in the community escalated after the military personnel insisted on taking away the community chairman and some leaders for further questioning after the peace talks, which the people resisted. The refusal, it was alleged, enraged the military personnel who opened fire in the town hall where they were holding a meeting with the residents, resulting in casualties in the village. The residents accused the soldiers of unexpectedly opening fire on residents and reportedly killing about 50 persons, adding that this may lead many of the residents to flee the community and hide in forest. But Musa, who spoke while featuring the program, said the attack was premeditated just because there are groups of criminals, cultists, and militants that, because they make a lot of money from crude oil thefts, believe they are above board.
The issue of the Okwoma issue, the attack was premeditated just because there are a group of criminals, cultists, militants, that because they make a lot of money from crude oil theft, believe they are above board. And they did this deliberately just because the commanding officer and his team were ensuring that any acts of pipeline vandalization, crude oil theft, illegal refineries were completely eradicated from that region. So that's part of the issues that came up. And you can see the Lieutenant Colonel himself is a very, very gallant, was a gallant officer. He was a commanding officer. Had the privilege of being his theater commander in the Northeast. He did extremely very well in the Northeast. We brought him here to stabilize the North Central. He did. He went to the Northwest. He equally did the same. So for him to be killed just like a chicken, beheaded, disemboweled. I mean, that is unacceptable. And we're happy that the Commander-in-Chief has given us a mandate to recover the arms to arrest the perpetrators. Now, I know a lot of comments have been made by different kinds of people, some from lack of understanding. When you have a joint task force involves members of the armed forces, that's the Army, Navy, Air Force. We have the police, the DSS, the NIA, every other security agency are part of it. So when we have arrests, we have joint investigation team. So it is not like the army is taking laws into their hands. And, you know, I've had comments about what were they doing and all this. And once we are deployed on operation, we have the right and the mandate to arrest all acts of criminality within that area. So they were there deployed legally. They were doing a legal operation. And it was because the commanding officer felt the threat was not that high. That was why he went there and felt he could discuss with the individual. He did not go armed. That gallant officer, if he had gone armed, he will erase everybody in that place. But he felt these were people he knew, these are Nigerians that he could talk to. And when he stepped up to talk to them with his team, they were rounded up and all shot. And not only shot, their body parts were cut, their hearts and private parts were removed. And I think that is one thing that all Nigerians should stand against. I've heard the Robo leaders talking. Yes, I have very serious respect for elders. But I also like elders to also speak from position of strength. They cannot say they do not know what was going on there. I'm sure you are aware that since they decapitated the bodies of those guys, there's a lot of human sacrifice that is ongoing within those general areas. And it was just part of them showing, you know, a way of saying that they have strength. And that's why they were able to cut the heads, cut the hands, disembowel them, remove the hearts, and these other things. I don't know what was that for. What was the intent? But whatever the intent is, we remain focused, we remain committed. If you notice, again, our operation was highly regulated. I mean, ideally before now, it would have been a situation where we would have gone and flattened all the communities within the area. But it was measured because we felt not everybody was involved. But we know that a lot of people knew what was going on and kept quiet. And so that makes them complicit. But like I said, it was a major operation, it was a major response. We are conducting cordon and search operations to thoroughly search for our weapons and to arrest those that carried out this dastardly act. I'm happy with the traditional ruler that submitted himself, which is the best thing. I wish all those other ones that were in the pictures will also equally do the same. We are not animals, we are not barbaric, that will just go around killing people. If they had not touched our armed forces, nobody would have been there. We have lived peacefully with them. We have encouraged them. We conduct civil-military relationship. If you go to most of the communities, we provide amenities for them just to show them that we are not an occupational army. We are the Nigerian armed forces, and we are here for Nigeria to ensure that Nigeria is peaceful. So I just want to make that little clarification, that they were legally deployed, and with their mandate, they are authorized to make arrests. They are authorized to interrogate, because we have a joint interrogation center that work together as a team under the joint task force.
That's it on the news. For more updates, do subscribe and turn on your notification bell when we'll be reporting. Thanks for watching.